So
All
WWE
right.
Smackdown on 5/23/25, an attendance of 6631. The current setup was for 6677, so they had 46 tickets left. I think by the time I looked, it said one. They sold out. Um, it was at the Ian Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. This episode wasn't great, like we said before.
The
So,
one was main event.
oh, was it? My apologies. They sold this
No,
out
that's
though.
okay. Yeah,
But
at 46 left, I'm sure that they sold it out. We just there by
yeah,
the as of recording this, we just didn't have that
but no,
info yet.
thanks for the correction. You remember better than I do with that.
No,
Um,
that's okay.
so it starts off before the show officially begins. Damian Priest ambushes Drew McIntyre during his entrance. The two brawl on stage as security rushes out to separate them. Commentary emphasizes rising tension heading into Priest's world title defense. The official's opening is delayed due to the chaos. Uh, so security pulled them apart, and it kind of moved on to the next one. Nothing too crazy to talk about there, right? So we'll just jump into
Nope.
the next one. It's Tiffy. So she gets interrupted. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton opens the show in ring, celebrating wins over Charlotte at WrestleMania and Nia Jax last week. She teases a warning for this year's Money in the Bank winner until Alexa Bliss makes a return. She always gets a pretty good little pop wherever she's at. People are into Bliss. Um,
Yep.
Bliss reminds everyone that she's a former world champion and Money in the Bank winner, adding that while she likes Nia Jax, she doesn't like Stratton, basically saying like she cashed in on Nia and she liked her, so what do you think I'm going to do to
Yeah.
you? As Bliss warns Stratton about her intentions with Money in the Bank, Charlotte Flair interrupts with a chorus of boos. Man, what happened to her? She
Yeah, I don't know. It's
she's like a walking fucking Slim Jim, man. She's just burn up. Like, um, but she sarcastically congratulates Stratton for beating her up at WrestleMania, claiming she's done everything except win Money in the Bank. She vows to win the briefcase and take back not just her title, but also the spotlight. Stratton fires back, calling Charlotte a hypocrite and blaming both Flair and Bliss as vintage, or calling them both vintage, while she's the upgrade. Stratton exits, declaring it will always be Tiffy time. As she heads up the ramp, Julia enters for the next match. The opening contest is set for Julia versus Charlotte Flair versus Selena Vega. Julia's music's fucking pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And then the mist and everything, and her little outfit that she wears, like the uh, her robe, I guess you would call it. Um,
Yeah, her entrance gear or whatever is really cool.
yeah, like she's definitely gonna do pretty well in that company. You can tell they have high hopes
Oh
for
yeah.
her. But anyways, what'd you think about that whole little segment with the chicks there?
Well, they furthered the story that they needed to further a little bit. Charlotte Flair, and we'll talk about it during the match here. I don't know what's going on with her, man. She's very rigid, very rigid. But yeah, we'll just jump
This
right
wasn't
into the
bad though.
match.
This was one of the better things
No,
on the show. I think it did what it was
yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah, they all accomplished their goals. There was nothing embarrassing or anything. It was good enough. Wasn't great, but it was good enough. I enjoyed her calling them vintage. It was a nice little backhanded way of calling them old.
No, she's definitely working. She's doing a good job as champ.
Yeah. So we get the Money in the Bank qualifier match of Charlotte Flair and Zelina Vega and Julia. After we come back from the commercial, um, we get early chaos in the match. Vega, caught between Charlotte Flair and Julia, is quickly tossed outside of the ring by Flair. Julia dominates Flair briefly before Charlotte hits a fall away slam on Vega. Back and forth action sees all three women trade control. Julia and Flair collide mid ring while Vega returns and nearly gets the win after a DDT. We get an outside dive by Vega, sending us into picture in picture. During the picture in picture, we get Julia and Flair briefly teaming up outside to isolate Vega with a double suplex. Flair gets a near fall on Julia before turning her attention back to Vega. All three women go for multiple roll ups and pin attempts in exchange. Julia lands a drop kick to halt Flair's momentum, nearly getting the pin. We go to a commercial and then come back. Julia kicks Flair to the ropes. Flair responds by slamming her down. Julia hits the beautiful drop kick while Vega hits head scissors into a submission on Flair. Flair goes for a double moonsault, which actually was pretty nice. That was probably one of the better things she did this match for a 2 count. Julia locks in the Rings of Saturn on Flair. Shout out to Perry Saturn. How long has it been since we saw Rings of Saturn in a WWE ring? Vega breaks it up with a kick and a 619. Flair spears Julia, nearly gets the win. Julia escapes the figure eight attempt, and Vega nails Flair with a Meteora. The finish is Julia double stomps Flair during a figure eight, and Vega rolls out. Julia hits the Northern Lights bomb on Flair for the pinfall victory. This was an all right match. Charlotte's moving really weird, and I don't mean like in a fashion like she's hurt. She's just, I don't know what's going on with her. It's kind of like she forgot how to wrestle or something, and she's very, very rigid and it's not fluid at all. I don't know. What did you think of this match?
I mean, I guess it was an okay match. I mean, that's about all I could say. It's just okay. Vega just doesn't really seem like she's it. You know, she gets coming out to like dead reactions, and the crowd's into Julia, and Flair does definitely get boos, but I think it's more like get the fuck out of here, and I think that's bugging her to some extent. Like I don't know. I think she thought she was gonna come back to like the fans like really being into her. I don't think she was supposed to be a fucking heel for coming back.
Nope.
Because it seemed like they had to pivot pretty quickly because she was coming out acting like a face and stuff, and I don't know, man. Not much to say about it. It wasn't offensive or anything, and it happened.
It was better than Collision.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But after that, we got more female wrestling related stuff with the backstage segment with Chelsea Green confronting Vega, mocking her post match. Vega ends up firing back with a slap, sparking a full brawl involving Secret Hervis, Michin, and B-Fab. The brawl looked fucking terrible, but security intervenes, leading into an impromptu match made official. Secret Hervis versus Michin versus B-Fab later tonight. I don't think any of these chicks have ever been shown how to do a backstage brawl. I don't think any of them.
This is what happens when they have to fill 3 hours on a show, TJ. God
well, I'm
damn.
just saying, I don't think any of these girls have been taught how to throw a punch correctly.
Probably not.
It's weird because it's like I feel like I've seen children that would more realistically be threatening with them coming at you with punches than fucking Me Chin or B Fab or whoever the fuck else was involved here. But
they'd all do well to watch some Scott Hall punches. His punches look devastatingly real, and he never was hitting you at all.
Fuck, even Dusty, you know, Terry Funk, a whole bunch of people that could show you some. Fuck,
Harley Race had a good punch.
Jerry Lawler, fucking really good. But we'll jump into the next one. Chris Sabin versus Tommaso. Chris Sabin enters before the break, and Tommaso arrives afterwards as the match begins. Early mat grappling sees Sabin gain control the pace with an arm work and shoulder tackle. Ciampa counters with a stiff elbow that unleashes stomps in the corner. Snapmare leads to a 2 count for him, followed by a DDT that sends Sabin outside. DIY celebrate cockily at ringside as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Tommaso maintains control with a neck breaker, but Sabin fights back with a boot and a German suplex. Sabin hits a running kick and a near fall. Tommaso rolls out, consults Gargano, and then drops Sabin on the apron. We got a 2 count back in the ring, and Sabin fires back with the dragon screw and a diving cutter, only 2. Gargano intervenes, but Sabin blocks him or knocks him off the apron. Ciampa fakes an injury to distract the ref, allowing Candice LeRae to sneak attack Sabin, and then he capitalizes with a running knee. So then he got the pinfall after that with the assist from Candice LeRae after he acted like he was hurt, and they celebrated after the win ringside. So sorry for messing that up a lot there, guys, but it's just I do really bad with that guy's name, and this fucking sucks. Like literally watching Tommaso is like watching paint dry.
Makes me think of like fucking can of Campbell's soup.
I don't know.
Tommaso soup.
I'd rather watch a can of fucking Pringles. You know, at least eventually I know I'm going to get something out of that I like. You know, like this guy fucking, I don't know, just shitting on all these shows, but I mean, I'm just not into this guy. Probably never will be. He's just some guy that's there filling up time on a show that doesn't need to be 3 hours.
And I know we say it every time Motor City Machine Guns come up, but man, it's not 2009 TNA anymore. I just they aren't it anymore.
Nope.
Yep. So we'll jump right into this next segment. We got Priest and McIntyre round 2. Damian Priest's music hit, but there's no entrance, just chaos. Priest and McIntyre resume their brawl from earlier, trading heavy shots near the ramp and ringside. Priest eventually grabs a mic inside the ring, declaring, "Tomorrow night, I'll put Drew in the hospital, but tonight I get my pound of flesh." He drops the mic and lunges back at McIntyre as security struggles to keep them apart. The crowd's chanting, "Let them fight," pretty loud, echoing throughout the arena. The segment ends in total chaos as the brawl continues. Is this an episode of AEW? Because there's so much brawling going. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that happened and furthered the story more going into Saturday night's main event pay-per-view. These guys have been fighting nonstop, it feels like, for at least a month. What did you think of this?
I mean, it just did what you said it was doing, furthering the stuff, and they have a couple different segments of one of their main programs throughout the show to keep reminding you to build towards it. And they got 3 hours, so they got plenty of time to do it, and nothing bad here. These guys have been taught how to brawl.
Yeah, it looked good. It didn't look fake.
Yep. And we can go ahead and move on to the next one here. It's a backstage with Solo Sikoa speaking to JC Mateo, offering it. That is just, what the fuck were they thinking, man?
I'd just call him JC.
Yeah. Or just call him Cobb. I don't know, but JC Mateo, fuck. But offering advice of their tag match, Jacob Fatu interrupts the conversation, glaring at Mateo. Fatu says that he doesn't know him, doesn't like him, makes it clear he doesn't trust him. Mateo snaps back, but Solo steps in to diffuse the tension. Solo reminds them both of the real enemy, says to use that fire in the ring. He references Jimmy Uso walking out on the family while emphasizing he never did. Solo begins to say Jacob's catchphrase, but Fatu cuts him off, delivering it himself, cold and sharp, before walking off. It was alright. Again, just another segment, just furthering another storyline, and everybody involved's good enough, so it's nothing really shit on here, right?
Nope. These are just segments that we cover because they happen, and maybe sometimes we'll think of something. But it's just nothing but backstage stuff for this 3-hour show here.
Yeah, we talk about Butter a lot in here too. We keep bringing that up.
I think so. Alexa sends a message. Ooh. Backstage, Charlotte Flair walks by and overhears Alexa Bliss speaking, but not to her, to Lily. Oh, she's talking to the little stuffed doll. God damn it, man. That's right. Alexa cryptically references friendship and then casually says, "See you at Money in the Bank." Oops, sorry. Flair glares but doesn't respond. Tension rising ahead of Money in the Bank. Ah, man. I don't like the whole I'm crazy talking to the doll thing. Shit's kind of stupid, but whatever. I
think they sell a lot of the dolls, so maybe that's why, but
I suppose that's right. This isn't for us, probably.
No, it's not. I don't know. Nothing I'm really interested in. I do like Alexa Bliss, but I don't need her talking to fucking dolls or oozing out that black shit that came out of her mouth that one time, and just you can be kind of like a gothic, like whatever the fuck kind of chick, but you just don't need to talk to dolls, and there doesn't need to be any spooky shit going on. But we can go ahead after that. We got a match with the Secret Herbers versus Michin and B-Fab.
Damn it.
A match that happened with some chicks that aren't very good, and it isn't really something that I want to fucking talk about, and you guys probably don't want to fucking
kind of gloss over it.
But I don't know. It just, some shit happened. Chelsea Green attempted interference and was cut off. B-Fab tags in, hits a neck breaker for the win. Is that enough talking about it? Like
that sounds good enough. These are gals that
they suck.
I would gladly trade out for AEW's best gals and just
Yeah, I mean it's what's her face, Dewdrop or whatever, Piper Niven. Like, she has no redeeming qualities as a wrestler. She doesn't look good. She doesn't sound good. She can't talk. She can't wrestle very good. I don't know what the fuck she's doing there. And it's like, it's obvious by the way she looks and sounds that she doesn't have any fucking interest in improving. The other chick that hangs around with her, I don't know, Alba Fire. Like she doesn't do anything, and Michin seems okay. I guess she's probably the best out of the bunch, and B
Yep,
BFAB
definitely.
BFAB needs to go, and it's I'd rather watch Triple H come out and take a dump in the middle of the ring than watch these fucking girls have a match ever again.
I don't know about that.
Bring Sheamus out and have him beat somebody up. Like there's a lot of
He's
things.
got the mic and he's looking at you.
Are you ready?
No, not at all.
You're like, oh no.
But since I kind of just glossed over that, I'll go ahead and do the next one here.
Yeah, let's do that.
We got Fatu and Mateo versus Jimmy Uso in Phoenix. So the match begins with Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso squaring off, but Mateo quickly tapped himself in. Mateo goes after Jimmy with stiff strikes until Fatu tacks himself back in, leading to a tense stare down. The hesitation gives Uso and Phoenix time to regroup and hit stereo dives to the outside. Solo Sikoa helps his team recover as we head to commercial. So after the break, Mateo's in control, slams Jimmy and hits a standing moonsault. Got a 2 count. He tags.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a good athlete. He just kind of looks funny. But he tags Fatu, who levels Jimmy with a running hip attack and then a running splash in the corner. Solo encourages Fatu as the punishment continues with another hip attack. Mateo tags back in, sets Jimmy up top, but Uso fights back and hits a corkscrew off the turnbuckle. We got a hot tag to Phoenix, who unloads on Fatu with quick offense and a poison rana near fall. Phoenix tries to stay on him, but Fatu counters with a Samoan drop. JC tags in, hits a German suplex, but Phoenix flips out. Jimmy tags in and hits a splash and almost gets the win. Fatu breaks it up with a senton. Phoenix hits a missile drop kick, takes a dive, but is slammed onto the announce table by Fatu. Back into the ring, Jimmy hits a spear on JC and climbs up to the top, but Solo Sikoa distracts him. JC dodges the splash and hits a Tour of the Islands for the pin. So Fatu and Mateo win via pinfall. This is probably the best in-ring match of the night, I'd say, at least for what I liked. But everybody did good enough, and Fatu's pretty good, and seems like Jeff Cobb's definitely not bad either. I've seen his work before. Like, remember when they had him come in at Moxley as I think it was Chris Jericho's special enforcer or some shit, and lose to him. But I mean, he can do some cool stuff. He's a really, really strong guy. His like core's probably like stronger than most people's on the planet. But I don't know. What'd you think?
It was just a good enough match. It was probably my second favorite match of the night. That they did pretty well. There was nothing offensive. All 4 of the guys in the ring can work and are varying degrees of over or stars. So it was good enough.
They had a reluctant celebration after the match,
easing some tension.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Tension our asses on to the next one.
Yep. So we got a LA Knight backstage promo on Money in the Bank. He acknowledges that the odds are stacked, but he's back in the city that helped shape him. He vows to walk through the darkness of Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura, calling them spooky season year round. Ends the strong, declaring, "I'm a living, breathing, talking Money in the Bank because I'm LA Knight." Yeah. And the crowd was doing that whole thing with him. I enjoy his shtick. He's good. He's a good talker. Good in the ring.
I think like in the back, he's penciled in as the top mid-card guy. They treat him better than any of the other top mid-card guys. I feel like he gets more wins, and they end up always having him in better position. Like at some point, they're gonna let him get the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it's just like the couple guys that just popped back up that kind of fucked him. Like when Punk showed up. If Punk hadn't shown up, he would probably already had that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But no, LA Knight's good. I don't think since I've started watching again, he's always a bright spot on the show. But after that, we got a segment with R-Truth. He's shown saluting a hand-drawn picture of his childhood hero, Cena. No words, just reverence. Reverence and comedy as prepares for a Saturday night's main event. The segment ends with Cena's theme faintly playing on a speaker as we cut to commercial. And then R-Truth sends a message to Cena. We get a reminder of tonight's main event, Street Profits versus Fraxium for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Back at ringside, R-Truth makes his entrance to a strong ovation from the crowd. He greets Savannah, Georgia with a "What's up?" before turning serious about Saturday night's main event. Truth said he's not facing his childhood hero because the man that Cena's become isn't the man he once admired. Truth says he couldn't understand where things went wrong until he realized that the problem was power. He recalls how Cena used to be his friend, but over time, text slowed down, calls stopped, Cena became cold and distant. Compares Cena to Gollum from Lord of the Rings, calling the title was precious and saying power corrupted him. Declares you're going to take my joy. You're not going to take my joy from me, John Cena. And then he ended it and admits he doesn't want to hurt Cena, but will beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect back into him if he has to. Ends by rounding the crowd with a familiar warning: if John Cena wins, we riot. What's up? I don't know. It was all right.
He's doing good work.
Yeah, I mean he's always been good at like delivering those little kind of promos, and he's definitely a pretty old guy, so he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he's Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, PG Era, Modern Era. I mean, he's wrestled in a lot of eras. He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he has, but not really much else to say there. You can take us on if you want.
Solid little promo. Well, yeah. So up next we got a Money in the Bank qualifier match. This is probably my preferred match of the night. We got Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura. The match opens with Nakamura and Black double teaming LA Knight briefly, working together. Knight breaks free and then teams up with Black for a high-low combo on Nakamura to send him to the outside. Knight turns on Black with stomps in the corner as "We Want Tables" chant breaks. They were chanting that a lot. Fucking wrestling fans sometimes. Nakamura drags Knight out to boos. Then Black and Nakamura exchange in stiff striking. Their back and forth looked really well. I would like to see some more of Aleister and Nakamura working together. Black lands a big knee strike. Knight intercepts with a megaplex, but Nakamura breaks up the pin with a splash, and we go to commercial. When we come back from the break, Black nearly pins Nakamura before Knight breaks it up. We get a BFT and Black Mass are both countered in a wild exchange. Knight scores a near fall. Nakamura sends Knight into the steel steps outside, returns to battling with Aleister. We get a strike fest between the two men, but Knight returns to break it up. Knight hits Black hits a knee on Knight, follows up with a moonsault off the apron onto both opponents. That was pretty nice. Knight recovers and throws Black back into the ring, but gets caught with a plancha from Aleister. Back in the ring, Knight hits a reverse DDT and then goes up for an elbow drop, but Nakamura breaks up the pin. Nakamura tries a hit in a shot, however the fuck how do you say that, you think? Kinshasa? I don't know. But Black blocks it, only to get posted seconds later. Nakamura charges in for a second one, but Black counters with a Black Mass. But before he can capitalize, Knight tosses him right on out of the ring and steals the pin. So the result is LA Knight wins via pinfall after Black hit a Black Mass on Nakamura. But they didn't make Black look weak in losing this match. Like, it looked like he was about to win, and then he just got tossed out and lost. So they protected him well. The match was pretty good overall. Not great, but one of the better ones of the night, I thought. What did you think of this?
I mean, it was kind of like a safe match. They didn't go too crazy, but everybody's timing was really good, and everybody got their shit in, and it was good. Like you said, it wasn't great, but it was a match, and it was good. Nothing really to shit on there. Better than a lot of the other stuff we've seen this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, why don't you take us into this main event? It's it actually wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But might have changed my opinion. Who knows? We'll see at the end here. Anyway, take us in here.
Street Profits versus Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. The match opens up with Dawkins and Axiom trading holds until Frazier tags in. Dawkins overpowers Frazier with the shoulder tackle. Tag to Montez Ford for a quick double team near fall. Dawkins returns to isolate Frazier, but Nathan fights back and tags Axiom. All four men brawl mid-ring. Axiom sends the champs outside and hits stereo dives as we go to a picture-in-picture. A picture-in-picture with the first break, and there's multiple in this match. Axiom strikes Dawkins in the corner but gets overpowered. Then we get a tag to Ford, who hits a senton on Axiom in a flurry of offense near fall. Dawkins keeps Axiom grounded as we return to full screen. Dawkins works a chin lock, but Axiom breaks free. Tag to Ford for shoulder strikes, and back to Dawkins for a big charge near fall. Axiom lands a crossbody and gets the hot tag on Frazier as Tez tags in. Frazier explodes with a shooting star press and rapid offense. We get a near fall. Champs slow the momentum again with tandem offense as we go to picture-in-picture for the second break. So a picture-in-picture in the second break. Again, Dawkins sets Frazier on the ropes. Frazier fires back with the near fall. Axiom tags in but gets dominated by Dawkins and then Ford. Ford mocks Axiom, hits a superplex, but can't finish the job as we return to full screen. We're getting close to the end here, and Axiom stuns Ford with the rear naked choke. Dawkins saves the day by suplexing Frazier onto Axiom to break the hold. Superplex by Frazier, blind tag by Axiom, and a golden ratio combo. Near fall. Frazier goes off for a Phoenix Splash, nails it, but Ford breaks the pin. Chaos erupts, DIY run in, but are intercepted by Motor City machine guns. Ford hits a massive dive over the turnbuckle to take out everyone. Dawkins spine busters Frazier. Ford tags in, but the lights go out. Then lights go out, and then the Wyatt Six return. They get a pop. They attack everybody at ringside, and in the ring, Uncle Howdy hits a Sister Abigail on Gargano. The faction stands tall in the ring as their theme plays. So just a no contest, I guess. Post-match, Uncle Howdy looks up and delivers a chilling closing line, "My life for you," and SmackDown goes off the air. After that, they lit a fucking candle like it was Bray Wyatt's birthday or something. But this to me was mainly why this wasn't the best match of the night. Before that, I'd say it was, but anything with the Wyatts is just a no. It sucks.
Yeah.
Anything Bray Wyatt sucked for the most part, except some of the beginning stuff when he came in before you got tired of him saying the same thing every week. This has proved to be nothing different so far. Actually, this has proved to be a complete mess. I guess one of the guys got hurt, so they had to take time. But even before that, before they got hurt, they had no plans for them. Everybody involved is just kind of like so-so. Just they need to stay away from this stuff. Hopefully Alexa Bliss isn't involved. And I know they're not gonna hear me, and it wouldn't make a difference if they did. But Triple H ever for some reason listen to this, you don't want this shit on your show, just let them all go. You're not gonna lose a fucking thing. Eric Rowan's fucking serviceable. I like him, but whatever Bo Dallas or whatever the guy with the mask on, you don't need him. You don't need the chick. Anybody else involved, just get him the fuck out of there. What'd you think?
Well, this match did finally. Sorry, I had to swallow. I'm sure you remember that I've been hating on Fraxium pretty hard for the last few weeks. I think this match kind of started to turn me around on him a little bit. I'm not crazy about him, but they did the thing. It was what it was. And yeah.
That's all you want to talk about with the match. It was a good match. It was everybody got their shit in, and it was a championship level match that's usually the caliber of what you would expect on TV. Nothing to shit on at all. It was one of the better things of the week in any of the wrestling shows, just until the end, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then just fuck. I guess these guys are going to stink up SmackDown even more. Hopefully they're not on Raw, and that'll at least be something positive out of it.